It's nighttime again. I'm gonna hopefully get a zombie now for the project that we're doing. I'm gonna not go to sleep, and we're going to hopefully find a zombie that is very close to us. Okay, there's a creeper. That's not what we need. Okay, we got zombies over there. Are there any other zombies that are closer? I don't think so. I'm just gonna try to grab this closest guy. I think we got him. Yeah. Oh. Okay. You're not a zombie. Okay, that's okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, back away. Back away. Hey, just chill out, guy. Okay? 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 Okay. Follow me, friend. Follow me. Into here, my friend. Okay, and now... Uh-oh. I don't have my inventory in the right order. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Here we go. This is... We're doing the thing. Okay. Calm. Calm down. Okay. I can do this. We're almost there. We've almost got him. Fall down. Come on. Come on down. Okay. Now, go into the boat, please. How about that? Will you go into the boat, please? Because I really don't want anyone else to mess with what's going on right now. I'm going to sleep so that people go away. Okay. Okay. Well, the villagers are freaked out, which is good. I think they're freaked out at least, yeah? Are we freaking out? No, it doesn't look like we're freaking out. We do have a guy in there, though. We'll deal with him in a bit. But first, I just want to see if our boy is in the boat. Come here. Come into the boat. Get in the boat. Please. Pretty please with sugar on top while you get in the boat. Get in the boat. Aha, yes, we got him. Nice. Okay. That was a lot harder than it probably needed to be, but hey, we got him. That was quite the way to start the episode. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Let's Play. For as much as I talk about my building process and like starting with shapes, I've noticed a commonality among all of the buildings that I have created so far. And that commonality is that they are all very rectangular. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I wanted to challenge myself a little bit to make something that isn't a rectangle. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to make a little iron farm, and the mission is that it's not going to be a rectangle. That was kind of my big challenge that I wanted to do for myself, or wanted to put upon myself, was to make it, you know, not a rectangle. I have mapped something out in creative, and hopefully it'll work out. But before I actually get started on the building, I want to make the farm functional. So that's gonna involve a little bit of redstone, which I've never done redstone on camera before, so I'm a little nervous about that. But I think I've got a pretty good handle on what I am doing. So I'm optimistic that it's gonna be a-okay. The first thing that I need to do here is I'm gonna get the delivery system figured out. So it just needs to go into some hoppers. So that's gonna be just like this, okay? We're gonna go here. Yes. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, I think this is how it was supposed to be. And I need to go down, all the way down. Okay. Soul sand at the bottom, come up for air. Yes, okay, this is exactly where we want it. So I need the dropper here. And we're gonna need 2 hoppers going into it. And now we kelp it up after we put signs here. Let's kelp it up. Woohoo! Basically what I'm doing right now is I'm making the item delivery zone. Hello, there we go. All right. I think that bit works like it's supposed to. I got the collection system working, finally, which is good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm going to do some of the tricky redstone. I've done it before. I'm basically just making a comparator clock. And we need a block right there to block the signal. And then we're going to come this way. And we're going to put a block here. And we need to put a repeater here. Okay. And now that should shoot out 15 kelps right on up. And those 15 kelps should, keyword should, wind up back in our chest up there. If I did this correctly, which I really hope that I did. I really hope that I did. 15 kelp. Okay, there we go, everybody. Now we're gonna get to the slightly more dangerous part, because this part requires lava. Now we're gonna get started on the collection system, and the collection system is fairly straightforward. These fences are very specific, actually. They need to be a fence from the nether, otherwise the lava is going to burn away the fence. And now we're just gonna do that, and he should go in there. Yes, it looks like he is, and he should drop his stuff. Boom, boom, so that the water doesn't turn to ice. And I'll put another guy right there, and now it should be fully operational. Yep, there he goes, and into the lava. There he goes. Woohoo! All right. Basically, the way the redstone works down there is I have a clock that basically detects as long as there's items in the dropper, and when there are no longer any items in the dropper, it stops pulsing a signal, which stops making the dropper shoot things out. This is probably not the most efficient or effective way to have made this iron farm, but it's the one that I came up with. I looked up a tutorial for one, and I riffed on it a little bit to make this contraption. Every so often the golems are still showing up, and they're going right in there into the lava, and we're getting their things, and it's been working for a little bit right now. So I'm pretty pleased. There it goes. It just did a thing. Goodbye, iron golem. Thank you for your iron. I'll need you. Now that we have the inner workings of the farm working, it's time to finally build the facade of the iron farm. And I'm kind of excited for it because it's going to be something different. It's going to bring a nice, like, different kind of color palette and a different shape to the area. So I'm excited to see how the iron farm impacts the whole area that we've got right through here. So with all that said and done, I'm going to stop dilly-dallying and let's get building. And the finishing touch. Ta-da! Wow! It's done! That only took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. The iron farm, it's done. It's decorated. My bed is still in here because I slept there. We'll get that really quickly. I kind of like how it turned out. I am struggling a little bit with what to do with the inside, if we're going to be honest, because I only really planned out the exterior. I got really caught up in trying to make the exterior look really cool, and that kind of left the inside a little neglected. So I have an idea. I've gathered some stuff, and I think I'm gonna make a little lava collection area right here for fuel. There's some lava. All right, the lava's all good, and now I'll put the dripstone right here, and that should give us lava. I think that's how that works. The iron farm is working pretty good. Unfortunately, that guy decided to spawn right there. Regardless of where that guy showed up, we're getting iron out the wazoo right now, and that is exactly what I was wanting. As far as the build itself goes, like I said, I wanted to challenge myself by not making it a straight up rectangle. And I think I did that pretty well. The base of it is almost more like a diamond or an emerald. That was kind of the shape that I was going for. It's a little bit longer on this side than it is on that side, so we got some asymmetry going, which I was also trying to challenge myself to do. I wanted to make something that was not super symmetrical. And if we look at the roof, it's also quite a bit different than the other roofs that I've done, because the other roofs are very similar in that it's just like two flat surfaces, and then on either side of the flat surfaces it's like a stair incline or an incline of some sort. So I wanted to challenge myself to do something a little different on this roof, and that's how I wound up with this shape. I think it's kind of cool. It's a three-way incline with one flat surface, and I like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's at least different, which is what I was going for. I'm allowing myself to change it if I think that I need to change it, or if I wind up not liking it in the future. And then I didn't want this to just be a random flat surface, so I put in some blocks that would give it a little depth. We got the stairs, just the normal stairs, and then some polished black stone also to kind of look like closed windows, or to add depth in any case. And the black stone actually serves a secondary purpose in that it adds just a little pop of color to the build, because it's really white. And that was on purpose because I also wanted to do something that was really, really different from the builds that we had over there. Like I talked about in the last episode, we have a lot of woods and a lot of browns, and I didn't want to do that again for the iron farm. And I also thought that an iron farm would be an appropriate thing to make something that wasn't straight wood. But I also wanted to put a little bit of a reminder in just these wood panels on the sides, the wood pillars on the sides right here, that would help remind everyone that we're still in this kind of world. It's just we're in a different area, and this is a little bit more machine oriented. It's got more stone around it. I just like the spruce wood too, so I wanted to put it in somewhere. The front right here, it's gonna sound silly, but it was inspired by an igloo. There's an igloo like right over there. I think I've been to it once in the series, but it has two villagers in it, and I was like, we're in a snow biome, so like why not make it kinda igloo-y, put a little semblance of an igloo in here. And so that's where this front kinda came in. It's just a little tunnel to bring it in, and I think it's kind of fun. Oh ho ho, look at that, it's working like a charm. Wow, we're gonna have so much fuel. And then the floor in here is fairly standard. I might mess with it a little bit as I continue on, but the basic premise of it was just I wanted to continue the like white theme that we had throughout the rest of the build, and I didn't want it to be straight up like polished diorite into quartz because I thought that that transition would look a little weird. So what I wound up doing is I'm going ahead and mixing up where I have like the start and the end points kinda, and I think that that's working pretty well because it's making the transition between the diorite and the quartz not quite as jarring. It's making the transition look a little bit more, I guess organic is an okay way to put it. One thing that I am struggling a little bit with on the inside is the lighting. I'm having a really, really hard time figuring out how I'm gonna keep this place lit up. And my best solution for that has been to throw a bunch of lamps down and to use a lot of glowstone. But I'm not a huge fan of just having this glowstone exposed like this. I know that trapdoors will let light seep through them, but, and I was like, ooh, do slabs do it? I haven't messed with that kind of mechanic in a little bit. The iron farm is cooking, and man, is this a good thing feeling to see. Like, ooh, that's so much iron. The thing that feels so good about all of that iron is I love lanterns. I love lanterns so much. But I have been trying to be a little stingy about it because I have not been wanting to use up all of my iron. And now I don't really have that problem anymore, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I also just realized that we haven't quite been to the roof yet. So I want to go to the roof and show off the glass that's up here because I haven't quite talked about this bit up here yet. This is basically my attempt at making like static steam coming off of the building because I have the literal chimney out there it's an active particle, it's an active block, it's always doing something, it's always outputting that little bit of smoke. You can barely see it right now. And instead of just making like another chimney or another few chimneys, what I wanted to do is make like steam coming off of this because this whole building is hot. It's making iron, right? And rather than having smoke, I thought, why not make it steam? And so I wanted to use the white glass because I thought that the white glass would help blend in a little bit more with the environment than just the normal glass. I did also try gray stained glass and light gray stained glass in my creative world, but that didn't give me quite the color that I was looking for, so I decided on just the white glass. If we go from a distance, I think that the mist really kind of comes alive. So let's just run a little bit back here and then bam. I think that that looks pretty okay. I'll definitely tweak them, but because it doesn't look great from all angles. Like from right here, it looks a little messy, and if we go from the side though, it looks really cool, I think. Like, it definitely gives the essence of mist, I think. I feel like I need to make some of them just a little bit more different. Make them either a little bit wider or a little bit taller, something along those lines. But oh man, would you just look at this? This is kind of cool with the sunset happening in the back. Then we've got the little light that's letting us know that there's some iron in there. I was really nervous about how it was gonna turn out. I really, really was. But now that it's all together, I like the mist. I like the two layers that we have. The lighting is a little questionable, but it's overall really cool. I don't really know what to do for an interior though, because in all of my research, it was all very industrial, as you know, you would expect from a factory. It will probably be industrial, but that's not exactly the vibe that I'm going for with this world. And so I'm a little undecided about what I want to do here. I'm very tempted to just like put 2 furnaces down on the sides because that'll at least add something, right? It adds something, and it's 2 points of interest, kind of. But I really want to do something like on the floors, and I feel like barrels, I've done a lot of barrels already. So I'll see kind of how the inside progresses over time, but for now there is one other thing that I wanted to show off, and oh, that just feels so good looking at that. That's so much iron. Oh man. So what I actually wanted to do really quickly is show off the farm, because I did expand the wheat farm just a little bit off camera. So as we're walking in, you're not going to notice anything immediately. This first level is completely unchanged. But if we go down, we see that this level is brand new, to put it very simply. And I also realized that I forgot to do the roof. So I'm just going to do that really quickly. Basically, what I was wanting to do was I needed more wheat to make more villagers, but I didn't want to expand it upstairs. I didn't have a lot of planned space for it, so I decided to go down. The color palette, I wanted it to be similar to the upstairs because it's just an offshoot of the farm, but it's also, I wanted it to also be different enough that you knew that it was kind of a new area. I wanted to use a lot of the pale oak wood because I really like the pale oak wood, especially as it's stripped. I like this kind of wavy pattern that we have right there. I think that's really cool. And I didn't have a place for it because in the iron farm, I didn't want that wavy pattern on the stairs. I thought that the wavy pattern would look a little weird, which is how I wound up putting the oak wood, or the pale oak wood rather, on the roof. And the pale oak wood, I like the texture of it. It is something that I really only see on the stripped wood, but it's a lot more pronounced on the pale oak wood, I think. Like if we come right next to the light, we can really see that, like on the dark wood, you can kind of see that same like wavy pattern, but it's a lot more prominent on here. And while we do have the elements of pink kind of still showing up, I think that it balances a lot better with this lighter brown than it did with the other colors that we were messing with on the other builds on the farm, actually upstairs, because that was where we were thinking about putting, where I was thinking about putting the pale oak trapdoors. And I also put the chiseled bookshelves in here because I had a lot of wood, and I was like, I wonder what I could do with that. And I saw chiseled bookshelves were actually something that were fairly affordable, because if we go into the crafting menu and we look it up, it's just planks and slabs. And I have a lot of wood, so that made it really easy to put in. And right here, I just have trapdoors that are shielding the water, because if we go ahead and harvest the sugarcane right here so I can show it off easier. Whoopsies. There we go. We can see that if we flip this up, the water is just, it's just a little too contrasty for me. So I put the pale, or not the pale, the birch trapdoors there because I thought that it would complement the area a little bit better, and it also ties in a little bit with the upstairs because we also have the birch trapdoors as part of our glass window right there. Gotta sleep. I just have to humble brag for a second. I think that looks pretty good coming from a distance. I like the stair pattern too. I think that looks kind of cool. Humble brag moment. I already got the chest and all of the blocks back into my house. I know. I'm so professional, so that we could all enjoy the full beauty of the iron farm without having a chest awkwardly right there. But Anyway, don't hit. Oh, that was a little too close to hitting the polar bear. We're nice, right, polar bear? We're nice. You can't tame polar bears, right? I really don't think you can. And he's definitely not mad at me, which is good. And with all that said and done, I think it's about time for me to wrap this episode up, even though we started the episode off a little crazy, getting the zombie in and getting the inner workings, well, working. We are ending off with a finished exterior and a work in progress on the interior, but a finished exterior, and I'm pleased with how it turned out. So, all that work was certainly worth it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you will continue to make it a good time and have a good time. Catch you in the next one.